that TV licence fee payers paying their 159 quid a year per household are paying for you to go and sit in Nairobi. I don't understand why they send people. I know it's a bit of a tangent. Hi, it's me again. And do you know what? I've lost count of the amount of people that have told me that the reason to pay the licence fee alone is the quality of the news production that BBC puts out. But they've really changed the news a lot. BBC News has recently been completely changed and streamlined. For during the day, you're pretty much chucking a webcam in Nicky Campbell's radio studio. At night, being broadcast from Washington and Singapore. And they've done all this so they can have ad breaks in it. You won't see any ad breaks in the UK, but if you watch it outside of the UK in a hotel room, whatever, there'll be ad breaks in there. The BBC want to make more money from advertising, but they don't want to stop asking you for your 159 quid a year. But those people who defend the BBC over their news production, I don't get it. And then I see headlines like this and think, well, how much longer are you going to be able to defend it for? BBC Newsnight and the internal shake-up which throws licence fee into doubt. Ooh, sounds spicy. BBC Newsnight is one of the premier news broadcasts from our Pride of Britain national broadcaster. So how are they going to knacker this one then? Because they've knackered everything else they've put out recently, haven't they? How are they knackering this? Let's have a look. An internal shake-up is on the horizon for BBC Newsnight, which faces cuts of £5 million from its £8 million budget. Well, that's new to me. 8 million quid a year, I'm guessing. It doesn't state, but I'm guessing it's 8 million quid a year to produce Newsnight. Does that sound like a lot of money to you? I'm not in TV production, as you know. I don't know how much these things cost. But the BBC have these studios kicking around anyway. How much is it to make a studio backdrop, which is probably green screen anyway, so it doesn't cost a lot to make, does it? They already have the cameras. They wouldn't have had to bring cameras in specially for it. To make Newsnight in a studio, 8 million quid a year. I don't know. I don't know how much these things cost. It just sounds like a lot. But now they're going to lose 5 million quid of it. So if that's how much they could put out and the quality of the production they could put out for 8 million, they're going to lose pretty much 2/3 of that. They're down to 3 million quid now. So you're going to get, what, 1/3 of the quality, 1/3 of the news, 1/3 of whatever. Doesn't sound good. Sounds like a big cut to me. The News and Current Affairs programme lost its editor of 2 years on Wednesday when Stuart McLean quit to become the BBC News' Africa Bureau Chief based in Nairobi. Tough at the top. Tough at the top, is it, Stuart? Oh, nice salary. They'll have to pay your accommodation out there, rent you a nice little house, sit in the sun in Nairobi. How much news actually comes out of Nairobi that needs reporting on the BBC that TV licence fee payers paying their 159 quid a year per household are paying for you to go and sit in Nairobi? I don't understand why they send people. I know it's a bit of a tangent. I don't understand why they send people to be based in other places around the world for news. Just partner up. Sky News do it. You just partner up with local news channels and you can borrow their reporters. You can borrow their stories. You don't, and if something big goes on, chuck them on a plane and send them out there nice and sharpish. Does this man need to be based full-time in Nairobi? How much news is coming out of Nairobi that needs reporting? Maybe the BBC knows something I don't know, and in a couple of months' time, we'll see some big news from Nairobi. I don't know. Anyway, now staff are braced for announcements about massive budget cuts, which critics say will leave Newsnight a shadow its former self and risk weakening the argument for the licence fee. I dare say there probably is some people out there that pay their licence fee solely for Newsnight. Because I've met people that pay their licence fee solely for EastEnders, and they weren't wearing straitjackets or in padded cells or anything. There probably is. It will cause a few people to cancel the licence fee, which will cause bigger cuts in other shows because they haven't got the money to go around, which will cause more people to cancel the licence fee. They're not going to win this. You're not going to win this, the BBC. Yeah, I must have said it a million times now on my two channels here. They get currently around 3.7 billion quid a year from TV licence fees. And they struggle to make it stretch. They're having to cut back on so much stuff. There are countries that run on less than 3.7 billion quid a year. Let's have a look, see what Nairobi's GDP is, just for fun. Oh yeah, Nairobi's just a city in Kenya. And I did get a GCE for geography, honest, but I was always weak on the African country. So yeah, the GDP thing doesn't matter. But yeah, there you go. They're knackering another news show at the BBC. So it shouldn't be long before that's taken off air as well. Hey. In September, former BBC News chief Katie Searle suggested Newsnight should be scrapped entirely because only 300,000 people watch a programme which costs 13 million to make. Alright, so the numbers have changed again. So they're going to get 5 million, then it's 8 million it has been getting, and she reckons it's 13 million. But if only 300,000 people are watching it, yeah, it's not good enough. Why are you spending any millions on a show that's only bringing in 300,000 people? But this, as I've said many times before again, this is the problem that the BBC has. The BBC still has the record for the most watched broadcast TV show of all time. There's an episode of EastEnders, talked about it before. Got 30 million viewers all sat down at the same time to watch it. It couldn't happen nowadays. That was the days when there was only 3 or 4 TV channels. Think how many different places you can watch content now. Broadcast TV is dying. No one's tuning in. Why are they still making you pay 159 quid a year? Let me know your thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the buttons as well, subscribe button, all of that. And hopefully that will mean I get to see you in another video again soon, won't it? Ta-da.